Hi, has someone close to you been diagnosed with Wernicke's aphasia? This video will explain the disorder's characteristics and methods of treatment, as well as provide you with some communication strategies to use when interacting with your loved one. Before we begin delving into the specifics of the disorder, it is important to understand what exactly Wernicke's aphasia, or Wernicke's aphasia as some call it, actually is. It is often described as an acquired language disorder that impacts language comprehension and the production of meaningful language. The disorder results from damage to one of the main language processing areas, Wernicke's area, which involves speech comprehension and is located in the brain's temporal lobe. This image may help give you a better visual understanding of the location of the damage.
The area highlighted in red here, Wernicke's area, is what we're talking about when we're dealing with Wernicke's aphasia.
Aphasia is most often caused by a stroke, but it may also be brought about by other factors, such as severe blows to the head, brain tumors, brain infections, dementia, and other conditions that may affect the brain.
Wernicke's aphasia is considered a fluent or hyperfluent aphasia, meaning that your loved one may be speaking much more than usual. This type of aphasia is characterized by word substitutions, neologisms, and verbose verbal output. Word substitutions are replacement words that do not make sense in context. Neologisms are completely new words. Individuals with Wernicke's aphasia tend to speak quickly and don't pause in conversation. They also frequently don't know that what they're saying isn't being understood. When having a conversation with your loved one, expect that their hearing and seeing comprehension in regards to language will be impaired. They may not understand what you're saying or be able to articulate what they see in front of them. Word substitutions or unrelated words may be strung together randomly. It will be hard for them to repeat what you've said or name what you are, what you're giving them, or what they're holding. It may sound like they are having a conversation with you because the sounds they are making are typical of normal conversation, but much of what is being uttered will be considered incoherent. A typical example of Wernicke's aphasia speech might be, "I love to go for rides in cars. Cars are expensive these days. Everything's expensive, even groceries. When I was a kid, you could spend $5 and get a whole wagon full. I had a little wagon. My brother and I would ride down the hill by our house. My brother served in World War II. He moved after the war. There was little housing available. My house is split level."
A multidisciplinary team is involved in the treatment of Wernicke's aphasia. In addition to speech-language pathologists, team members typically include physical and occupational therapists, clinical neuropsychologists, nurses, and social workers, who are guided by physiatrists and neurologists.
Treatment of Wernicke's aphasia may initially be difficult because of your loved one's difficulty to understand what you're saying and the lack of realization that what they're saying makes no sense. Currently, there are no surgical or medical procedures available to treat Wernicke's aphasia, but speech therapy can improve the person's ability to communicate by helping him or her use remaining language abilities, restore language abilities as much as possible, compensate for language problems, and learn other methods of communicating. SLPs will often use a contextual approach, interacting in real-life situations, working on task-specific skills, and using multimodal approaches such as gestures, pictures, reading, and writing. The key is not to nitpick every single word, but to get the sentence structure so that you can get the gist of the speech, as well as have the majority of the words be correct and on target. The degree to which an individual can recover language abilities is highly dependent on how much brain damage occurred, where the brain damage was, and the cause of the original injury. Other factors include the individual's age, general health, motivation, and willingness to participate in speech therapy, and also whether they are left or right-handed. Language areas may be located in both the left and right hemispheres for left-handed individuals, which will aid them in their recovery.
Family involvement is a crucial component of Wernicke's aphasia treatment so that you can learn the best way to communicate with your loved one. Some easy strategies you can use at home are to Simplify your language. Use short sentences with basic words. Slow down the rate of your speech. Use pauses between words. Try to eliminate distractions like TV or music. Speak to your loved one like an adult and include them in the conversation. Try not to correct their speech. Be patient and give time for responses. Use everyday items and tasks as visual cues. Use repetition and familiar routines, situations, and responses. You may start with exercises such as naming days of the week. Through daily practice, your loved one can demonstrate significant improvements in their speech, language, and comprehension skills.